my darlings, I hope you're doing very, very well. I hope you are sitting comfortably, you are cozy, and you have your snacks and your beverages at the ready. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at some botched tattoos. I think it's one of our worst nightmares as tattoo clients to go to a tattoo appointment all excited and giddy for what's about to happen. You see a tattoo design and you love it, and then you see the stencil, everything looks good, the stencil goes on, it looks great. So you approve of the tattoo design and the tattoo artist gets to work. And when it comes to the final product, ooh, yikes. It is nothing like you had envisioned at all. The tattoo is a permanent mess and you are left to deal with this permanent mess, leading into spending more money to fix it, whether that is to get a cover up or a rework or to have it lasered off completely. Getting tattooed is very risky business and it could happen to any of us, even those with a lot of tattoos. Before we talk about messed up tattoos, I want to talk about messed up scammers. Oh yes, today's video is sponsored by Aura. Are you someone who on a daily basis gets scam calls from numbers you do not recognize, especially on mobile telephone numbers? Gone are the days where scam callers will ring you on long suspicious business numbers. Oh no, they've clocked on to the fact that you will not answer that, because scam callers are getting a lot more craftier with ways of getting you to answer the phone. So use a mobile number in hopes that you will pick it up because you think, oh, that might be my friend calling or my parents or a family member on a different phone. So you pick it up thinking it's going to be someone you know, and lo and behold, it's a scam caller trying to get you to buy insurance or tell you that your phone line has been hacked or your internet connection has been compromised. And this is so incredibly infuriating and it gets me every single time. Every single time I pick it up thinking, oh, it's going to be someone I know. No, it's not. Apparently my phone line has been compromised. If you've ever wondered how scammers get your phone number or why your inbox is flooded with spam, this is how. There are these companies called data brokers and they sell your data without your consent, and they make billions selling it to marketers, scammers and spammers and anyone else that wants your information. And while they are legally required to remove your information if you ask them to, they make the whole process so incredibly long and confusing in hopes that you will just give up and let them keep your information to sell on and profit off of. This is why I can only highly recommend today's video sponsor, Aura. With Aura, they take care of the hard part, automatically removing your information from these websites and keeping it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security. It has everything you need to keep you and your personal information safe from those trying to profit off of it. Get alerts if your personal information is found on the dark web, and fraud alerts for credit and banking. There is 24/7 monitoring on all of this also, so you're protected at all times. Aura also has very handy things like a VPN, an antivirus, password management, parental control, and so much more. So try Aura for 14 days for free at aura.com/treacle. That is aura.com/treacle. In those 2 weeks, you'll discover where your data is being exposed and sold. So that is aura.com/treacle. I will leave a link down below. I just want to say thank you so much to Aura for sponsoring this video. Now let's take a look at some botched tattoos. So one story in particular that has gone mega viral, and I have been sent it a few times, I've been tagged in it a few times, is this botched tattoo story from a TikTok user by the name of Lady Gaga 2009 VMAs. That's a very specific username if you ask me. So back in June, she came to TikTok to talk about the fact that she had got a tattoo recently and it was done incredibly bad. And yeah, like this is how she introduces the TikTok, the story.
So I got a really botched tattoo.
Let me tell you, I was sat, I was seated, I was engrossed, I was ready to find out what the hell happened here. Because like I was saying, this is every tattoo client's worst nightmare. And I feel like content like this is very, very helpful for anybody or everybody that wants to get tattoos, so we can kind of learn from other people's mistakes. And yeah, it's... oh, this whole situation is wild. And luckily it doesn't happen often, but I feel like it happens more often than we are all aware, because all we see nowadays is people come to social media to talk about their amazing new tattoos and how much they love it. It is kind of rare that someone does come to social media to talk about, you know, oh, I just got a new tattoo and I don't like it, it's turned out terribly.
But basically I emailed the shop afterwards being like, hey, I'm very unhappy. I didn't speak up because I was so in shock. I need some solution here, like a partial repayment or another artist to fix it. And they gaslit the fuck out of me and called me a liar.
Now, I know some people will be like, you should have said something there and then. However, it truly is not that easy. I'm sure we've all been in situations where we feel like we can't speak up. I most certainly have. Anxiety does get the best of me sometimes. I mean, as I've got older, I don't particularly care as much. I can be a bit more confrontational, but when I was younger, oh my gosh. The amount of times I've like had a haircut or a hair appointment or something and I've not liked it, I've just kind of just been like, yeah, it looks great. And then I would go home and fix it myself. And yeah, sometimes you just feel like you can't confrontate. Is that even a word, confrontate? Whatever. But yeah, sometimes you feel like you just can't go up to people and be like, hey, like, I don't like this, because it could go south. It could become a full-on argument, or you just don't want to hurt someone's feelings or make them feel bad because you're saying, oh, I don't like something that you have just done and put all your time and effort into. Like, it is really hard to say, I don't like this. It's also the shock value. Getting a new tattoo is very, very shocking for some, physically and mentally. Like, you can really go through it when having a new tattoo, no matter the size. Like, even if it's a small one, big one, your body goes through a lot when you are getting tattooed. You know, you've sat there for maybe an hour or way, way, way longer. You've been in pain or you're still in pain. You have a new permanent marking on your body. And then you look at the final result and it is nothing like you wanted. Like, that is so incredibly shocking, you know? Like, that's a lot to go through. I personally myself would probably want to get out of there pretty quickly too. Like, I'd just be like, I'm so over this. I want to go home. Another reason as to why someone may not, you know, stand up for them, they are the only client and there would be other tattoo artists there. So it'd be one client versus however many tattoo artists are working in that tattoo studio at that time. And of course, the tattoo artist that did the tattoo as well. Tattoo artists do have a habit of banding together and protecting one another. So if a client kind of says, oh, I don't really like this tattoo that you've just done, then the tattoo artist that has done that tattoo will be like, what's your problem? And then get all of the tattoo artists that are in that tattoo studio at that time to come and have a look at this tattoo and kind of gaslight you into thinking that the tattoo is completely fine, you're making it up, and it could even get worse than that. And this does happen. This, of course, wouldn't happen in a private tattoo studio where there is just one tattoo artist working in there. It may feel a little bit safer to communicate your feelings with just one artist, but even still, it could be kind of scary, right? Of course, I will advise that if you are not 100% happy with your tattoo, tell the artist immediately, because then they can offer solutions straight away. They may even be able to fix some things that you're not happy with right there and then, but only do that if you feel comfortable or safe to do so. But if you do feel much more comfortable to communicate through messages or emails, I personally think that's okay to do so, and we shouldn't shame people that feel better doing communication that way. I much prefer to communicate through text because I'm just not very good at wording how I feel. It's something I struggle with so freaking much. Like, I'm terrible at communicating, hey, like this, and this when I'm unhappy or something. If a tattoo artist or a tattoo studio gets snippy about that because you didn't say something straight away, I'm just gonna say that's a huge red flag, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. I'm sure there's a lot of tattoo artists that are watching this right now like, no, you have to say something straight away. But like I said before, going through a tattoo is stressful enough for some people, let alone having a tattoo and it doesn't look the way that the client wants. Like, that's a lot for someone to go through. And then to get all confrontational with a tattoo artist as well, like, that's so much for someone to go through. I just think it's pretty shitty to expect all walks of life to be able to communicate, you know, face to face with someone. Like, it's just not fair to expect that from everybody. You know, there's reasons as to why some people just cannot be confrontational due to, you know, health issues or what have you. Like, we can't all be like, well, you said nothing at the appointment, so screw you. Like, it's just not fair. So should you ever end up with a tattoo you don't like and you don't really want to talk to the artist face to face for whatever reason, make sure you do email or message them as soon as possible. But at the beginning of the email or message, just say, I didn't feel comfortable saying this in the tattoo studio for personal reasons. Chances are your tattoo artist or the tattoo studio you went to is so incredibly nice and very, very sweet and polite and, you know, great human beings. So you don't exactly want to accuse them of being hostile or intimidating or anything like that by saying something like, oh, I felt like I couldn't say this earlier. It can imply that they are a terrible human. So just say, for personal reasons, I just didn't feel like I could say this, but it has like nothing to do with you. It's just it's a me thing. It's not you, it's me. And just say that you're unfortunately not happy with the tattoo, and is there any way that you could rework it? And depending on how messed up it is and how far away it is from your original wants and needs, you can ask for a refund or a partial refund. But I highly recommend, you know, if you had a good tattoo appointment, like the tattoo artist was really, really nice, there was just maybe a little bit of miscommunication, I probably wouldn't go for the refund straight away, honestly. If you did have a terrible time or whatever, yeah, you can probably ask for the refund or partial refund, and obviously go into detail as to why, and ask politely. Don't be, you know, all mad and mean keyboard warrior. Like, respect goes a long, long way. But any decent tattoo artist would try and offer as many solutions as they most probably could. But if they get snippy, then ooh, red flags all around. Yeah, hopefully if you are to communicate to a tattoo artist that you don't like the tattoo for whatever reason, there is a very quick resolve. I can understand from a tattoo artist's point of view that being told that the work you have done isn't up to par can be incredibly hurtful. Nobody wants to hear what they have done isn't good enough. Like, that is devastating, especially to creatives. A lot of creative people are very sensitive souls, which is very understandable. But that being said, they shouldn't call you a liar because you didn't communicate straight away that you didn't like a tattoo. And they shouldn't be mean or rude to you or anything like that. It's just one of those things that happens. Like, they're providing a service. Not everyone is going to be happy 24/7. They should try their best to resolve the situation in a way that makes you both happy. That to me is what a professional tattoo artist is. Now, as this video was posted on TikTok, there is of course some comments that are in relation to what I've just been saying. One person said, imagine taking ownership and offering a solution. What a concept for the shop. Which, exactly, like, if you want to uphold a decent reputation, the best way to go about that is to be accommodating to clients. Again, they are providing a service. They're working with the general public. Not everyone is going to be happy 24/7, and you as a business need to know how to deal with that correctly. Average tattoo shops never taking accountability, which is so true. Like, I always have a lot of respect for people that just hold their hands up and go, whoa, okay, yeah, I'm so sorry. Is there anything I can do to fix this? Like, it's just so much easier. Like, do people not like understand that? It's terrible, but if they ask how you like it afterwards and you don't speak up, I feel like that was your chance for a fix. You can't come back later and say different and expect a refund, in my opinion. Like eating your whole meal and then complaining to the waiter that it wasn't okay. This isn't a one-time meal. This is a permanent work on my body. I also said partial repayment or another artist to fix it. This is something we need to take into account as well. Like, this is a permanent thing. And the thing is, it is sometimes better to leave a situation and really take a look at, you know, the tattoo, see it in different, you know, lighting, see it at home and what have you, like get a feel for it. Some people do love their tattoos instantly, but sometimes people just, you know, take a while to process what the hell has happened to them and what is on their body forever. So we can't really be too mad at her for, you know, not saying something instantly, because it can take a little while for your brain to like figure out what the hell has happened, and then for you to be like, oh wait, hang on a second, yeah, that's really not great, you know? Anyway, we then get to see the tattoo in question in all its glory.
I feel like I have to ask TikTok, what do you guys think about this? It's supposed to be a Nintendo DS. I know it's healing, but what do you think about this? Thank you.
I mean, straight lines. Who are they? Where are they? Who is she? Like, this is not great at all. Of course, the tattoo is healing. It's very, very flaky. It's scaly. But you can still see that this is a very badly done tattoo. There is no straight lines whatsoever. The script as well is so bad. It's just not even in any way, shape or form. And like, the stylus is bent. It could be the shape of her arm, because obviously it's going to wrap a little bit because it is on her arm, but it just looks curved. It just doesn't look like a good quality tattoo. And the plus keypad there, oh my god, it's like the symmetry. None of it. There is nothing I can compliment throughout this tattoo, apart from the blue maybe. That's a very nice blue. That's a very nice colour. Other than that, this tattoo is terrible. And I can understand why she's pissed and said, I don't like this, because it's just, I mean, this is Ariel de Jesus quality, isn't it? It's just not good. It looks rushed. There is no thought or effort put throughout this. It's just, I feel really, really bad for her. And she got absolutely tat-fished, okay? Catfished, but with tattoos. Tat-fished. She put in the comment section, this is literally the same artist flash on their portfolio. So I was assuming this quality. I'm not naming names yet, but you all can reverse image search if you want to. And this tattoo, I mean, if you really look at it closely, there is a few mistakes here and there, but overall, let's compare the two, okay? Again, I know Lady Gaga's tattoo is healing, so we can give it a little bit of grace or what have you, but like, it's not even close. It's not even close to the same quality. You know, at least with this Animal Crossing tattoo, it looks smooth, it looks saturated, the line work looks so much better. It's just, what happened? I know people have off days, but when you're a tattoo artist, you need to keep your off days to, well, no, you know, because you're scarring someone for life. You need to not have an off day. Okay, because what the hell happened here? And the kicker for all of this, she paid $600 for this tattoo. $600 for that quality of work? I beg your pardon. Like, what do you... I would be so pissed too if I paid $600 for lines that just don't... They're so skew-if. Like, what? Nintendo DS has wobbly wibbly lights. No, but really, what Nintendo DS has wibbly wobbly lines. Like, it's a straight structure. It's a rectangle, right? Why is the lines looking like this? It's so bad. I can't get over it. It's so bad. I'm sorry, sis. I'd be highly upset even if I only paid $80 for that. I'd pay $600 to let that artist not touch me. Which honestly, same. The thing is, again, Lady Gaga, 2009 VMAs, thought she was going to a decent tattoo artist, right? Because we saw an example of the tattoo artist's work. I could not possibly have guessed what I was about to see. They better give all your money back and then go somewhere else for the cover up because, oh my god, I'm so sorry they did that to you. Sorry, $600, girl, call the police. $600 for a tattoo that size is a crime itself. And I'm glad that there has been 11,000 likes for this comment because I do know that tattoos in America are a lot more expensive than they are in the UK. In the UK, if you were to get a tattoo of a similar size, and I would say quality, but the quality isn't there, but the same kind of style and size and in colour, you're probably looking at like, I don't know, maximum £300, £400, which I guess, I don't know what that is when it comes to conversion. But yeah, most tattoo artists probably wouldn't charge anything more than $300 to $400. And that is if you're going to a very, very decent and very popular tattoo artist. This tattoo artist is not popular, also not that decent, but that kind of money is like what you should be paying a tattoo artist that has been doing it for years and years and years, has a huge following, and can actually tattoo a straight line. Like $600, like $600 bills. Oh no, it's healing so it looks crispy, but those lines, $300 max. Tell me about it. They ate my original $150 deposit because they moved shops in between me being able to reschedule. So I've actually had a few messages over the years of people going through something similar where a person has paid a deposit at one studio and then the artist that is working in that studio then ups and leaves and goes to another tattoo studio and their deposit is like forfeited and it's just gone. And the thing is, it's not the client's fault by any means, so they should get that money back, right? But for whatever reason, it never gets returned to them. And I never know how to advise how to deal with this. Obviously, you can talk to the tattoo studio, but if a tattoo artist has left that studio in a very negative way, like there's been a fallout, that tattoo studio is probably going to be an absolute dick and be like, no, sorry, this is an art issue, you're gonna have to talk to the artist. And the artist is going to be like, well, I'm not going to communicate with this studio because I've had a falling out with them. So then the client is the one that suffers, and it's so fucked up. The only thing you can do is go to the police, I guess, or to some kind of small claims court to try and get it back, but then you're spending more money. You may as well just forfeit. Back to the tattoo. Someone else said, babe, as a tattooer, my jaw truly dropped. I'm so sorry you're going through this, and I hope someone in your area is willing to work with you. As a tattoo artist, I'm sorry. I love how tattoo artists are like, yo, like, on behalf of all decent tattoo artists, I'm so sorry. Very, very nice tattoo studio come forward and was like, oh my god, so sorry that happened to you. That's seriously not okay. We're in downtown Athens and our owner, Miss Devon, would be happy to fix it for you for free. Shoot us a DM or email and we'll get you taken care of. Y'all, I never know how to say y'all. Y'all are so sweet. Oh my god. I'm getting a lot of offers from different artists, so I need to take a few days to let this heal and think about my next steps. Definitely will be keeping you high in mind because this is such a lovely offer. Thank you so much. And this is honestly so sweet and incredibly kind, and just shows that there are decent tattoo artists and decent tattoo studios out there that would go above and beyond for clients that have never even stepped foot in their door before. You know, to donate your resources and your time for free for this person is so sweet and so kind, and I'm glad that Lady Gaga 2009 VMAs has had some offers to help her fix this. Now, some other comments that I want to read are some of the most hilarious comments I've ever come across. This is what I love about TikTok. Sometimes the comment section is funnier than the actual TikTok, even if the TikTok itself is funny. Here we go. Let's have a little laugh, okay? Not to laugh at someone's expense or anything, but these are the kind of, you know, jokey comments that are kind of harmless, right? So someone said, someone who isn't trained as an artist, who's never picked up a tattoo pen and can't colour in the lines, I can confidently say I could have done that for free. You know when Rebel Wilson gets a tattoo out of the back of a van in the movie Bridesmaids? Yeah. It was very progressive of you to hire a blind tattoo artist. Is it supposed to look like a Nintendo DS made of hamburger meat? And then this one, were you imprisoned? Oh, honestly, if you don't laugh, you cry in these situations. Like, if I made a TikTok like this and I had comments like this, it would truly make the tattoo. Like, I think these types of comments would make me love the tattoo, because I'd just be like, you know what? This tattoo is an absolute meme. So I kind of love it now. It's the same for my Sacred Heart tattoo that looks like a turnip. Like, it's not that great, but because everyone has called it, you know, the turnip, I kind of like it now. So then the day after Lady Gaga 2009 VMAs put up a TikTok picture with some words on it that says they're threatening legal action for defamation and said they're calling the cops on me. So I removed everything with their name. I just wanted my tattoo fixed or my money back. Let me know if anyone has any advice. Now, what I think happened is she uploaded a few more TikToks that have since been deleted, because what happened is she posted this TikTok, right? And then it went viral pretty much straight away. And I was tagged in it literally instantly. So I was keeping my eye on the situation. And then when it come to the point where I was like, I'm going to make a video about this because it's, you know, it could be kind of educational for us all to kind of learn from this person's story. I couldn't find her profile. Like, I think she put her profile on private or kind of deleted it kind of thing, but it's obviously come back or what have you, because she was getting threats for telling her story. Like, what the actual fuck? So I think she did mention who the studio was and who the artist was at some point. It is also written throughout the comment section of her viral TikTok video, the one that we just looked at. But again, because she has been having a lot of threats, I don't particularly want to make the situation worse for her by saying who the studio is and who the artist is, because I think there is a resolve as well. We'll get into that in a second. But the comment section for this TikTok picture script situation says nothing but facts. Okay, so we have this. This is a very clear intimidation tactic. Do not back down. They have no legal right to ask you to remove anything, and calling the cops is hilarious, which I completely agree with. When people threaten legal action, for the most part, it is a, hey, we're just threatening you, just so you shut the fuck up. Because most people would get scared at the fact that, you know, a lawyer is going to be involved, the police are going to be involved. Like, for a lot of people that don't want to deal with all of that, that's kind of scary, right? So you would want to, you know, back down and be like, okay, I'm not going to talk about something that's happened to me anymore. It's so shitty to try and shut people up like that. It's gross. It's not defamation if it's the truth. It would be cheaper to work with you than a lawyer. They are trying to intimidate you. Don't let them. Which is, again, so true. It's only defamation if what she's saying is not true, but you know, the proof is literally right there on her arm. Like, what more proof do you want? Say it louder, they did you wrong and didn't make it right, and people who want a tattoo should know not only how bad the tattoo was, but how bad the customer service was. Defamation, what is wrong with this tattoo business? You clearly are just unsatisfied with the work. Why do all of this when you could just be a decent tattoo artist in a decent tattoo studio and just say, hey, okay, I'm so sorry you're not happy. Let us, you know, try and resolve this for you, however, which way, you know, you want. Like, again, if they had just taken accountability to start off with, it wouldn't have turned out like this. Like, they've only made it worse for themselves. Okay, this tiny next section, I actually forgot to talk about this while I was filming. I have no idea how I skipped this in my notes. I don't know what happened here. Okay, it's only a brief moment, so I apologize for the voiceover. So on the same day that this text post was put onto TikTok, she put up another text post saying, tattoo update, they have finally backed down and are refunding me. Thank you, TikTok. Which is absolutely incredible, because the power of the internet really does force people into being better people, which this should have been the case straight away, to be honest with you. But they wanted to fuck around and they definitely found out. And there was lots of lovely supportive comments on this post as well, which I love to see, because sometimes when people come to the internet to discuss something that they have been through, some people can just be so evil and mean, you know? And I'm glad that the majority have been very, very nice. And then the day after, Lady Gaga 2009 VMAs put up another text post on TikTok that says, again, please stop harassing other artists at the shop. I do not condone that. Also, I'm tired of this shop and employees trying to guilt me for my experience that I am legally able to expand on and share with the internet without legal repercussions. I have multiple artists offering to help me out, and apparently I'm getting refunded, so I would like for this shit to just stop, please. So again, this is the problem with the internet. Like, she was just sharing her experience and being like, yo, this is what has happened to me, kind of thing. Like, that's just what the internet day and age is nowadays. You know, she did everything right. She contacted the artist and said, hey, I'm not happy with this. And then she came to the internet. If she had come to the internet without talking to the tattoo artist, then obviously that is a big problem, isn't it? Like, you should always address the people that have done you wrong first, so they don't find out on social media, because that's kind of shitty, right? And what she has done is no different than her leaving a review on their Google page or, you know, Yelp or what have you. That's my opinion anyway. Like, whether she wrote it on a freaking review page or did a TikTok. I mean, I guess with making a TikTok, it reaches a wider audience and a lot more people are more likely to see it. And it, I guess, you know, tarnishes this tattoo studio's reputation. But again, if they had just fixed it or sorted it out through email or messages or whatever, it wouldn't have come to this. And of course, again, with her doing this TikTok, it has led to tattoo artists at the tattoo studio that have probably done no wrong getting, you know, a lot of messages and comments being like, yo, your tattoo studio sucks, kind of thing, which of course I don't condone. And yeah, because she has said that she is apparently getting her refund, I don't want to drag this studio and, you know, artist into it. And yeah, there is maybe a resolve as well. Again, she said she was apparently getting a refund, but there is this comment that says, apparently you're getting refunded. What was exactly said from them? Refunds can take time to process depending on the payment method. I'm so sick of those excuses. You put it in the POS machine and process a refund and it's instant. I know, but damn. Old girl said, apparently I hate that for her. Usually 3 to 5 business days depending on how it was paid and the bank. Sometimes it's in the account the same day. So yeah, I'm not sure if she has got a refund. There has been absolutely no updates since then. Like, no TikTok to say, oh, by the way, I have actually been refunded. So I guess we wait and find out to see if she gets refunded or not. If she doesn't get refunded, then I'm more than happy to make another video blasting this tattoo studio and this tattoo artist and being like, yo, what the hell are you doing? Give this girl her money back. She at least deserves it at this point for everything she's been through, you know? You have made it abundantly clear that your intention was not to send people to their social shop to harass them. Again, I think there was more content, but it has been deleted. So I do believe that she has said, yo, don't harass these people. I just want my money back, kind of thing. You actually condemn those actions. They are quite literally just attempting to strong arm you into silence about the situation completely, and the refund is just something to get you to shut up. That's what it seems like as a third-party observer. If they continue their shit and drag their feet about the refund, I'd still find legal counsel. Unless they have, they'd refund you in writing. It may get tricky if they don't follow through. So hopefully there is, you know, messages, emails of this tattoo studio or tattoo artist saying, yes, we're going to refund you. Because if that is in writing, then she could easily find a lawyer and be like, hey, they promised me a refund, like, I haven't got it yet. I would go to small claims court. That would cost thousands to get removed. And even a super talented artist is going to struggle to fix it. This is on your body forever, and they gaslit you and threatened legal action unjustifiably. Remember your worth and that this is actually serious. The whole shop should be shut down from what I've seen of that tattoo. I feel like that is definitely very, very strong words. I just commented on your main vid. The same thing happened to me at that shop and they gaslit the fuck out of me too. I couldn't believe the audacity, so I just gave up. And this is a picture of this person's tattoo. And like, look at the absolute state of this. I don't know if it was the same artist or not. I mean, you can't even read this. Oh, I think that says like father, like daughter, maybe? Yeah, like father, like daughter, but... It's very, very unlegible. It looks incredibly scarred also. Like, the majority of the ink has come out of this, like, what do you call this thing again? Infinity symbol. And the line work has expanded so freaking much, and it's just not healed great at all. This also isn't the only story on TikTok about botched tattoos. There are people that have come to TikTok to talk about how they've ended up with a tattoo that they just didn't ask for. It didn't turn out the way they thought it would, or the quality isn't there, or it's just a hot mess.
Okay, this is the pastels, and this is what I got.
The butterfly. God. The butterfly looks like it was out of a cartoon book. A coloring book. The flowers are so big.
This is what I wanted, okay? This is the pastels, and this is what I got.
Okay, listen. I can't make this shit up. This is on my neck right now, and I would rather die. I would rather walk on glass or hot burning coals than have this be on the side of my fucking neck right now. I am literally going to Ideal Image, and I've already looked it up. There's a Groupon, $139 for 3 sessions of fucking tattoo removal. How is that a straight line, bro? That is on my neck. How are those stars? How are those stars? Those look like, I don't even know, they don't look like stars.
Yesterday, I went and got a tattoo. I just want to know if I'm overreacting. So this is what I'd asked for. I didn't want the heart. I wanted it to say Mummy's Girl. I wanted the little girl's face to just be a little bit different, and the woman's waist to be a bit more of a waist. What is the hand? Like, why is the hand upside down? This is on the front of my arm. And it looks like that.
On today's episode of How Fucked Up Is Fucked Up. That's fucked up.
Alongside this, we have a story from someone called Rebecca. Rebecca ended up with huge disappointment after getting her first tattoo. Yes, first tattoo. Which breaks my damn heart, because getting your first tattoo is so incredibly special, right? We can all think about our first tattoo, if you obviously have tattoos, but getting your first tattoo is so exciting, so nerve-wracking, and just something that you will never, ever, ever forget, you know? Like, my first tattoo, while it is trash, it's just a star, I remember the day so vividly, and my memory is just terrible, but I can remember getting my first tattoo, and I treasure it so much because it was the first ever tattoo I got, and now I'm obviously covered, but what Rebecca went through honestly would put you off for life. Rebecca did absolutely everything right, in my opinion. Like, she did everything the way I would tell someone when they're going for their first tattoo. Rebecca starts off her TikTok with one hell of a hook.
If you asked for a fine line lotus tattoo and you got this, how would you feel?
I would be so freaking pissed. So pissed. I'd be so annoyed that this had happened to me. The thickness of line work throughout a tattoo can truly change the style of a tattoo. To some, this may not be a big deal because the design is what she wanted, so who cares, right? It's still the same thing. But if you are looking for a specific style and you don't get that, oh no. Ooh, she's ended up with a whole different vibe to what she was after. And as this is Rebecca's first tattoo, or she doesn't have any other tattoos around it, the tattoo looks so much more bolder than it may actually be. It just looks heavier and it stands out so freaking much, which wouldn't have been the case if she ended up with a fine line tattoo. It would have been a lot more delicate, not as noticeable, and not as, you know, in your face as what it is now. Like I said, Rebecca did absolutely everything right. She communicated incredibly well with her tattoo artist and was very, very descriptive of what she wanted from this tattoo and from this tattoo artist.
Found this artist through a friend of mine who had a really great experience, so I thought that I would be in good hands. In my opening message, I say I'm interested in a fine line lotus tattoo. I asked about booking and pricing, blah blah blah. She asks if I have any reference photos. This is the one and only photo I sent her. I told her I really like this reference photo. As far as size, shading, color, and shape, I would want it to be very similar to this photo. He's talking about the deposit, $100. She just posted on her Instagram story that she had a cancellation, so she had a slot open. It was March 20th at this point, and the slot was for March 26th. Before I sent the deposit, I sent her another message. I just want to make sure you know that I really love the reference photo and I would want it very similar with minimal changes if that's okay. She says, yeah, absolutely. And then I send the deposit. I understand that tattoos are art and she's not just gonna copy and paste something onto my body. However, when I asked for a fine line tattoo, I was expecting to get a tattoo with fine lines.
She was crystal clear with that communication. The tattoo artist even agreed to what she said. She said, yeah, okay, we can do that, no problem. She also saw on this tattoo artist's portfolio that she does do fine lines. She had a lot of other styles, but she did have fine line tattoos posted on her account. My thing is, I specifically asked her if she could do fine line and she said yes. If she said no, I would have just found another artist. I feel like she should have been more transparent if she didn't want to do fine line. So she's, again, done everything right. Like, Rebecca has communicated. She did the research on her artist. What more could she have done?
It was my first tattoo. It is my first and only tattoo as of right now. And I had no idea what the process would be. I trusted her because I had very clearly communicated exactly what I wanted and she said that she would be able to do that, so I wasn't really too concerned about it, you know? Like, I knew what I wanted and from my understanding she knew what I wanted as well. As for my actual experience in the shop, there are two things that really annoy me still to this day. Firstly, I have an issue with the shape of my tattoo. I am, again, gonna put these pictures up here side by side, my reference and then my actual tattoo. This one is much more feminine and delicate, and my actual tattoo, I'm struggling to put this into words, so I drew a picture. This is what the tip of the petals looks like on my tattoo, and this is closer to what I wanted them to look like, more rounded out, not like coming inwards like that. You know what I mean? That's something that I could have caught in hindsight and retrospect. She didn't ask me, I don't know if this is standard or not, but she didn't ask me if there was anything that I wanted to change on the design. And it was my first tattoo, like I said, like I wasn't really sure if she was gonna ask that ever when the time came up, whatever. But also in that moment, I didn't really notice. It's just, again, because I showed her a picture of exactly what I wanted and I was kind of just expecting her to replicate that.
Rebecca is right. Any decent tattoo artist should 100% ask if you are happy with the design before putting the stencil on your body. This gives you an opportunity to talk about the tattoo design and if you would like any changes, communicate what you do and do not want with the tattoo. This is basically like a mini consultation before you get the tattoo or before the stencil is even put on your body. Communication is key when getting a tattoo, and the tattoo artist 100% messed up in this situation. They are the professional at the end of the day. It shouldn't be up to the tattoo client to be like, oh, hey, by the way, can we do this, this, and this, and this? The tattoo artist needs to be the one saying, hey, do you want any changes? Every single tattoo appointment I've had when a tattoo artist has showed me the design, they have always said, is there anything you want changed? So yeah, Rebecca sadly did end up with a much bolder tattoo than she asked for multiple times. She wanted something softer, and this could have all been avoided should the tattoo artist have listened to Rebecca, you know? And she also said in a separate comment herself, I forgot to mention in the video, the stencil was put on my arm and she asked about the thickness of the lines and if it was okay or if I wanted them thinner. I said I wanted them thinner and she did not do that. It looks very similar to the stencil, even though she said she would make them thinner, which is very, very easy to do as a tattoo artist. Instead of using a bigger needle size, you just use a small needle size. Like, how is this tattoo artist forgetting instantly what Rebecca wants after she has said multiple times, thin line work, please?
The second thing that really is annoying to me is that she had sizes that I could choose from, small stencil, medium, and a large, and I was deciding between the medium and the large, and I said I want it to be as close to the reference photo as possible. Which one do you think is the most similar in size? And she said that without the white paper behind it, it would look smaller, so size up. I did. I ended up going with the larger one, and it is just so much bigger than the reference photo. And then obviously the big one, the lines are very much thick for fine line, if you can even call it that. I wouldn't consider my tattoo a fine line tattoo. And is this the end of the world? No. However, I do think I'm allowed to come on here and explain that I was disappointed in my service. And I'm not trying to hate on my artist. I don't think it's necessarily a bad tattoo. It was just not what I wanted or had envisioned or had asked for.
So someone asked, did they show you what they were planning before they printed the stencil or after they put the stencil on? Have you go look in the mirror to see if you liked it, how it looked? Not sure if that's the standard at most places, but it's the standard where I get mine at, which again, it's the standard all over the place. It should be anyway. And Rebecca said she didn't. She just showed me the 3 stencil sizes on paper. I honestly didn't even think to ask if I could change the size to not be one of those 3 because I was so overwhelmed and it was just all happening so fast. She basically said that she picked one of the stencil sizes and that's it. Like, she didn't get to check in the mirror. She didn't get to discuss the sizes. She didn't even know you can request a different size or anything like that. Again, this is Rebecca's first tattoo. If you haven't done much research before getting the tattoo and how tattoo appointments work, you're not going to know these things. And the thing is, she shouldn't know either. Like, we can't expect every tattoo newbie to know everything. It's your tattoo artist's job to guide you through your tattoo appointment. Why is everyone missing the point? When I saw what she wanted versus what she got, I was shocked. There should be a lot of communication between the artist and the client, and she was very clear, in my opinion, in wanting it to be fine line. It doesn't matter if you'll like what she ended up getting better. It's not what she wanted, nor paid for it to be on her body for the rest of her freaking life. Yes, it's that deep, which I fully agree with. They just wanted your money. Fine lines are harder to do in my opinion, but I love doing them. You need a steady hand because every mistake will show. You also can go deep so easy, so you have to be mindful. Some artists hate them as they will need a touch-up, and most people don't want to pay for that. And then Rebecca said, you may be onto something. My biggest annoyance is that she would have simply just said she doesn't do fine line. I would have simply found another artist instead of her telling me, then doing something closer to traditional. And this is honestly such a good point. This tattoo artist essentially just took advantage of a tattoo newbie, you know, like she didn't listen, she didn't take into account what Rebecca wanted. She basically just was like, whatever, I'm just doing what I want, and I'm just going to take your money. And, you know, you're a new person to the tattoo world. You're not going to know any different. Like, that's so freaking shitty. Another person said, tattoo artist here, sorry, but no, you didn't get what you wanted at all. And your tattoo is a traditional tattoo for sure. I've already thought of ways to make it more feminine and more fine line with little details that would help. You can absolutely fix this without having to get rid of it or even change the original, which is incredibly sweet that this tattoo artist kind of gave advice and said, hey, you can do this to make it a little bit more what you like. But again, you cannot make a tattoo thinner. You cannot fix those lines. Like, once those lines are there, they're there. And with this type of tattoo, the line work is only going to get thicker over time. That's just what happens with every line work and every tattoo. The lines get thicker, so it's just going to get bolder as time gets on. And there's a chance that Rebecca wanted more tattoos on this arm of the fine line variety, and now this tattoo is just going to be there and stick out. So she either has to get the rest of her tattoos in the same kind of style, or she gets them all in fine line. Then you have this bold tattoo here. It's just going to stand out against the rest of them. This may not be a big issue to a lot of people, but I can just imagine how disappointing it would be, you know, if you wanted to go for a certain vibe and you don't get that vibe. And I'm honestly just so pissed off for her. Like, I'm angry for her. Like, this tattoo artist, what went through your mind, man? Like, you've just basically scarred someone for life with something they didn't want or ask for. I hope that Rebecca ends up loving this tattoo or ends up having something done to it to rework it to make it the way she wanted it to, but with that bold line work, it's going to be so hard. So yeah, that's really just disappointing. So with that, I really can't offer much advice if you ever find yourself in this situation. Again, you can stress and communicate that you want a certain thing, and if an artist doesn't listen to you, then, you know, like, what can you actually do? Like, you may notice when the tattoo is being done that the line work is thicker, but then the line work has already been partly done, so you can't, you know, change it. because then you're gonna have thick line work for half of the tattoo and thin for the rest. Like, what do you just have to carry on. Like, oh my god, it's so bad. Oh boy. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on this topic. Have you yourself ever ended up with a botched tattoo, or a tattoo that didn't turn out the way you thought it would for whatever reason? Line work wasn't the way you wanted it, color palette wasn't the way you wanted it, or the stencil looked incredible, but then when it comes to the execution and the final result of the tattoo, it was just not what you wanted at all. Spill down below, I would love to know, and let us know how you fixed it, or if you ever did fix it. It may be helpful to those that are reading through the comment section and those that like might need some advice with their botched tattoos. And yeah, that is it for today's video. I just want to say thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little while, and until my next video, bye.